Building a pitch deck is just as important as being a good salesman. It is the same skill in a different vehicle.
That's Shareef Acheksai, my co-founder and head director of Blue Stripe Studios, the production company we built over the last 2 years working with brands like Nike Swim, Zillow, Skechers, Adobe, and Hoka.
What makes a producer really, really good, number one thing is communication. If you can't communicate well, then people don't understand the task at hand.
Before we started Blue Stripe, Shareef worked at 72 & Sunny, where he learned how major agencies and large-scale productions actually operate. He brought that experience into our partnership and helped us go from working late nights after our full-time jobs to producing six-figure commercial projects.
Every production is like running a micro business. The more people you have, the faster the machine moves and the more things you can get done.
In this episode, Shareef breaks down what it actually takes to scale from small shoots to six-figure productions.
And we do a line-by-line breakdown of a real commercial that we shot for $65,000.
It doesn't matter how much money the job is, you always act like you're making $1 million piece of product.
All right, Shareef, because you already ruined the one-handed crack, that's how you do it properly.
That was pretty good.
See how I did that one? Go ahead.
Let me tell you what not to do.
Classic fucking Brayden.
You know, it's not terrible. Oh, okay.
Ooh, heard the pop.
5.2, go ahead.
All right. Fucked it.
That was horrific.
Yeah, I'm usually better.
I'll have that drink from you now. Because Shareef opened his before we started.
Yeah,
it's
it was
all
karma.
good.
It was karma.
It's all good, dude.
Like,
it happens.
That's really embarrassing.
I want to start you off on the hot seat. I think something that a lot of people have a misconception about is entrepreneurs shouldn't work a full-time job. Do you think that entrepreneurs should work a full-time job to start, or no? Should they just go right into making a business?
I mean, I personally think yes, every single entrepreneur should work a full-time job. I did, and that's the only reason why I understand how to run the business that we run right now, because you get a better understanding of how it's done on the highest scale, and then what it will take from ground zero to get up there. And so I've taken on a bunch of processes from working at my previous agency, 72 & Sunny, and watching all of our partnerships with production companies and post-production companies, watching all of their systems and how we implement that into Blue Stripe.
I think it was pivotal, honestly.
Yeah, because Brayden didn't know shit. And then Shareef came and like, let me show you how the big guns do things around here.
Yeah, exactly.
I honestly, I wish I would have gotten a production company job. I think I would have learned more because that's what our business is. But at the same time, I feel like sports teaches you how to do a million things with one job. You're like, you're the director, you're the editor, you're the producer, you're the colorist, you're the sound person. And I feel like, at least with what we do, what we've noticed is a lot of people don't do that. They're just like, oh, I do this one thing really well. But when you're a little company and you're starting out, you got to do 16 things. So you're wearing so many different hats. So I feel like it did help us out a lot, but I wouldn't have been able to do it had we not had the experience that you had at like a big agency, seeing how to make a bid, how to pitch, how a company actually operates, not just like, oh, I got job, I edit job, I send invoice, you know?
Yeah. But I think the balance of our split responsibilities actually made it really perfect and easy for us, because you came in with this like one-man band mindset, and I had the experience of working on larger scale productions with big teams, and we get jobs that are one-man band kind of jobs, like the Uber job. If you didn't have that experience, we wouldn't have gotten that job, and we wouldn't have been able to execute it at the level that we did. Shout out Yuli
on the gang.
But then Beehive, for example, we wouldn't be able to do that if I didn't have the prior experience with growing a bigger scale production or producing a bigger scale production.
What do you think was the hardest part about quitting a comfy salary job to then start your own business? Because I think a lot of people listening to this right now, they might be a successful business owner, maybe they're littler company, or they're at a full-time job right now, and they're wondering how like a 7-figure agency runs and what it kind of takes to get to that level.
I think the hardest part was literally just financial stability ahead of time, because I had no doubt in my mind that we could do what we're doing right now and be in the position that we're in right now. I had no doubt in my mind. I was 100% confident, but the scariest part is like, do I have enough money if we don't get work? And we luckily built ourselves a pad ahead of time with the budget, or with the funds in our business bank account as well as my personal bank account, where I was like, okay, if I don't work for 6 months, I'll be fine, which obviously wasn't ever going to happen because we weren't going to let that happen.
Bro, I remember we had like I don't know if you call this like a coupe, but we went to fucking Joshua Tree.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And we're gonna take off work and we're gonna make the company and we're gonna like
spend the weekend. And all we're doing is building.
Felt like we're in like an inside job, like driving out there. People are like, oh, how was your weekend? I'm like, it was fine. We were just hanging out. Like we were just like in an Airbnb in Joshua
grinding
Tree
for 12 to 14
making
hours.
the LLC, making a reel, making our website, making decks, like just putting all of the energy in. Like, okay, now it's like a real tangible thing. It's no longer this like fugazi thing that we keep talking about. What do you feel like stops people from making the leap and like actually doing it? Because I think there are a lot of people are hearing that like, oh, that sounds good in practice, but they're still there in a situation that maybe isn't serving them anymore. Because I think that is probably the scariest thing, especially when you tell other people who aren't at a full or at a job that they fuck with. You're like, oh, I'm working at this cool company. Like, why would you ever leave?
Yeah.
You know? So I think it can get weird to tell other people about the idea that you're trying to do. And I feel like I really didn't tell many people. It was just like a couple people that I knew that knew what we were going to do eventually.
I think a majority of people have fear that they don't have enough experience. But I think, I don't know. I just think experience is such like an ambiguous term because you could have the talent, but you don't have the experience. And somebody with more experience may be not as talented as you are. And so I don't think that should ever be a deterrent of people for pursuing that goal and that dream. Like if you don't feel like you have enough experience, create the experiences for yourself. If you're like, I want to be a photographer. I was actually talking with the creative director at 72 and Sunny, and she was telling me how she wants to like pursue photography and make that be her new full-time thing. And obviously it's scary because at a big agency, you've been there for a decade plus, you make a lot of money and you're like, I don't feel comfortable making that jump, which is fine, but get that experience while you are making this full-time salary. Like find people in your community to be your photo assist, be your lighting director, be your grips, and like make a spec shoot or do a photo shoot that like you haven't ever done before at the highest level. And we don't know what the fuck we're doing. We just find the people that know what they're doing and we assemble the team and put them together.
I think that's the biggest misconception about like the biggest companies in the world, Fortune 500 companies, is that everyone knows what's going on. It's just not the case.
That's not the case at all.
Everyone's figuring it out as you go. And like, it's like you're on a big ship going across the Atlantic and you're building it and you have pieces that are flying off as you go. And you're like, oh shit, we got to patch that piece. And then you got to patch this.
But the thing is we bring on the guys that know how to patch it.
Exactly.
Like we don't know how to patch it, but we have the teammates that do know how.
That's a cool thing about running a business though. I think that you think when you do a company that you're like, I have to know how to do all of the things. You should have like a general understanding of it, but you don't need to be the best at the one thing. That's pointless. There's so many other people that are like, that's the only thing I want to do. And that's why
I'm going to let you do that because I don't want to do that.
How old were you? How far out of school were you when you got the job at 72?
Let's see. So as soon as I graduated, before I graduated, I started an internship at Digitas Chicago, and I was actually working in the DEI department. I wasn't even producing. I was just like making calendars for different holidays of all the ethnic groups and like just doing different activities and events for the diversity, equity, and inclusion at this company. And at the end of my internship, I asked my manager if I could speak with the production team because that's what I really wanted to do. She was like, yeah, I'll connect you with them. And I went and I spoke to the head of production in Chicago. This was 2021, by the way. So I was at home in Portland. It's middle of pandemic, like working from home. And I talked to them. I told them about my experience. And I was like, I'll do literally anything. I just want to get in the door and understand how this world works a little bit more. And the head of production in Chicago was like, I like you. I'll pass you along to the director of production for North America. So then I spoke with him and they were like, okay, like you seem like you have a lot of potential. Unfortunately, we don't have any open positions right now, but we'll make one for you. And so they literally made a job out of thin air for me. And I became their first associate producer out of Chicago, which when people ask me, how did I get my job? I'm like, dude, I'm an anomaly. You're not going to get a job the same way. Like nobody is going to create a job out of thin air for you. I have no idea why they did. I think they just saw a lot of potential in me, and I was very hungry.
Were you working in Chicago?
No, I was working at
remote.
home. It was just remote.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they
So I was
were.
like, I missed that chapter of
Yeah.
Shareef living in Chicago.
Yeah. No, but it was hard because that December I felt very depressed because I didn't really know if I wanted to move to Chicago. I was like, all my boys are in LA, like that's where I've always wanted to be. And I was just at this crossroads for weeks. And one day my mom just sat me down and was like, dude, you're going to continue to kill yourself over this. What's the word when you're like in a limbo? I guess limbo.
I think a limbo fits right there.
Yeah. I was just in a limbo.
Hey, don't make it more difficult than it
Dude,
needs
don't
to
make
be.
it harder, man.
Just make up your mind. Just make a decision and commit to that decision. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Because you are just stressing out over absolutely nothing. And so I decided I was going to move to Chicago. Like I was 100% determined that was going to be my path. And a few weeks, maybe a month or two later, I get a LinkedIn message from 72 and Sunny, and they're like, "Hey, we love your work. We're looking for a production coordinator. Would you be interested in interviewing?" And I was like, "Hell yeah, I would be interested."
So the associate producer job was not for 72 and Sunny. It was for
Digitas.
Okay, just
Yeah.
Digitas. I see.
Another big agency.
Okay.
They're like a big global agency owned by Publicis, which is a huge holding company. But then I went through 5 interviews at 72 and Sunny.
They just reached out to you randomly? Okay.
Yeah.
Because you're that guy. Yeah.
Thank you. But then, I went through 5 interviews and they offered me a job and offered to move me out to Los Angeles. And I mean, I wasn't going to say no to that. And I felt really bad telling my boss at my other company, like, hey, I really appreciate you doing this for me. But at the end of the day, this is where I want to be. I get to be closer to my family still on the West Coast. Like, I've wanted to move to Los Angeles ever since I was 14 years old. And it just feels like the universe was listening to me and gave me this opportunity. So then we sent it to LA and I started working on the Zeal project while I started my job at 72 and Sunny.
Oh, wow. I didn't
in the
realize,
back end.
Oh, wow. I
Yeah.
didn't realize it was that fresh.
Dude, it was so fresh. And people are like, how did you do it? Bro, I was always working on something else outside of work.
yeah.
Like I
would
never
end-
was
yeah,
only
yeah.
working on work unless it was Super Bowl. That was it. But every other project, I had something going on in the back end with us.
Plug and play.
What's going on?
We got crazy news because Seedance 2.5 is now on Artlist. What does that mean?
That means you can generate a single scene up to 30 seconds.
And you can use up to 50 reference images. So that means the same face, different locations. It'll all keep consistency over the scene, which is like actually insane.
Yeah, it's crazy because typically you're kind of limited to like the 4 to 8 second range, which is great for a single clip, but 30 seconds allows you to really build out a full scene.
People are going absolutely nuts with this. It's the top link down in the description. You get a little discount if you use our code. Let's keep it going.
I feel like the first 3 or 4 years at 505, I was talking to Chloe about this the other day. I didn't really see her a whole lot. She was in my room,
Yeah.
but I'm serious. Like we were just working on shit
All the time.
It was like an obsessive, weird fucking behavior that I
Mm-hmm.
was on. Cause like we would finish Lakers stuff. You would finish 72 stuff. We would hop on meets.
Yep.
We would work till like 2 or 3
Yeah.
a.m.
Yeah.
And then I'd go to bed and we'd redo the whole thing the
Run
next
it
day. And
back.
I'd wake up at like 8:55
Yeah.
right before I needed to be on Slack. I'd be like, yo, 8:55, like wake up out of bed. And then I'd be ready to rock and roll for the fucking day. But it was so bad for my mental health.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like I didn't really work out much
Mm-mm.
because it was
I
just,
wasn't sleeping.
we weren't sleeping.
Still not working out a ton.
I've been working out a lot. I'm actually on day 3 in a row and we're going to go today. That'll make 4.
Yeah. That's
But
good.
I feel
It's
like
cute.
you don't need to do it if you have it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Been
that's the
lifting the
difference.
same
That's the
amount of
difference
weight.
maker. That's the difference.
Same
maker.
routine, dude.
I feel like though in our 20s we had to do that.
Yeah.
Because it wouldn't have gotten off the ground.
No. And I have so much energy in my 20s. I'm like, this is the only time that I'm ever going to be able to do this and be able to recover and bounce back and then just keep going.
Dude, you were kind of like sincere, right? Where you had like the main thing and then you're like, I gotta explore this other connection.
This connection.
Exactly.
Yeah, dude, it's like
exactly.
Love Island.
Yeah, it's like sort of the same.
Your career is kind of like Love
Yeah,
Island.
it's
if you
sort of the
think about
same
it.
sort of situation.
The reason I ask about the job when you were first starting out, like were you still considered an associate producer at 72 when you first started out?
I was technically less.
Okay.
Like I technically took a downgrade in position where I was a coordinator. So I was only assisting people on jobs. At Digitas, they were like opening me up to take on my own productions.
Yeah.
But then when I moved over to 72 and Sunny, I was only like coordinating and assisting a more senior producer,
I
which
see.
honestly, I am so grateful for. Shout out Danny Nori and Leah Karabenik. And Jennifer Curcio. Sorry, Jen. I learned so much from these people and like found the systems that helped them and then took all the things I liked from every producer and then just made it my own system. So I'm very, very grateful that I got to work under such smart, talented, organized, strategic producers and creative producers.
I'd love to go into what makes a badass killer producer because I think it's kind of a thankless job, but it's arguably one of the most important in production. So what are some of those things that you learned from your time at 72 that has allowed you to do what you guys are doing with Blue Stripe at the highest level?
Producers are the whole thing, for those who don't know. They're the
Yeah.
whole, they're the backbone, they're your quarterback.
Yeah.
Or I feel like they're more your
They're the manager.
offensive coordinator.
Yeah, that's
Like,
fair.
You know
That's
what I
fair.
mean? They're the boss behind the scenes.
Yes.
They're hiring, they're making all the moves happen. The shoot doesn't.
I
What do you
feel like
think?
even the GM. They're the
Low-key-
general manager of
low-key
the club.
GM.
you know?
GM. That's a better fit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're-
that's funny because I remember asking Shareef the question and then
Sorry.
Brayden started
Just got excited, man. I just got-
answering about
my bad,
the
my bad,
producer.
man. I just wanted to make sure that people
Yeah,
knew
yeah.
how important it
No,
was.
and he wants to make
I
sure
want-
that he knows how important my role
you
is.
gotta know that this is the guy behind the scenes running the shit. Okay, this is the reason why it all works.
Yeah. Well,
I love him, man. He's a really good partner.
Wait, so Brayden, so what makes a badass producer?
no, I appreciate that though. I think being a producer is a thankless job because every single person who is the creative ideator gets all of the credit because they are the forefront on the outside of like, oh, this came from this person's head.
Yeah.
But yeah, it did. And then it just sits as a thing on paper if there's no producer to actually make it happen. Like an idea only gets you so far until you have the people that put it together to execute it. And so there are very different types of producers. There's executive producers, there's line producers, there's production coordinators, like there's various levels to it, but essentially the producer handles all of the logistics and ensures the project gets done from start to finish. And I think what makes a producer really, really good, number one thing is communication and like ensuring everybody understands what's going on, when it's going on, where it's going on, and who's a part of it. I think that is hands down the most crucial component of being a good producer because if you can't communicate well, then people don't understand the task at hand. So that organization, of course, like your whole job is like sifting chaos and making it controlled and figuring out how to make it make sense for everybody and condensing it down to small, tiny, bite-sized pieces of information where you read it, I read it, we will all understand what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So communication, organization, and I mean, just like being a good vibe and a good person to be around. I don't want, if my whole job is to kind of annoy people to do their job. And if I'm actually annoying, then nobody's going to want to do their job. Like I have to find a nice way to say it and remind people and get on people's ass without being like a micromanager.
Mm-hmm.
So I think those are the top three things.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I think on a bigger shoot, could you talk about the differences between maybe when we first started to now like a 6-figure job and what the main differences are? Because I think like we came from a world of like quick, fast. And we always said when we were in school, we're like, when you get out of school, because I'm 2 years older than Reef, we're in the same fraternity. I was like, we're going to make a company. We're going to figure out how to make a company.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. My first company failed. And I think it was like a great experience to like learn stuff. But then coming out of it, I still was probably the job, like the cap of the jobs I was doing were maybe 10K at maximum. And then I feel like once we really were like, let's put all of our heads together, we started to get a 20K job and then a 30K job and then a 50 and then 100.
Yeah.
And we've kind of sat in that like under 200 range, you know? Like, what do you feel like someone could take from a bigger production and put it into something small to like keep elevating it, keep making it get better so they can make more money?
I really do think it doesn't matter how much money the job is. You always act like you're making $1 million piece of product.
I love that.
Like even our jobs that were $10,000, I'm like, what? We're gonna figure out how the hell to make this look like $1 million. And then we go to other people and we're like, yeah, this cost 25,000. Even though we only spent 10,000 on it. At the end of the day, it is a $25,000 piece of product because we put the attention, intention, and care into it to make it look and be the best product it could possibly be.
I think you're right. I think the biggest thing is when you get more money, it's not like, oh, how can we like hoard more money? It's like, how can you make it so sick that someone else is like, that was unreal.
Yes.
Can we pay?
And they see the value of it being
Yes.
greater than what was actually spent on it. Yes.
100%.
In which everything we do, I feel like every single project we've made is more valuable than what somebody spent on it. And that's us just continuing to grow and get better and up our prices because we have more experience and we are learning how to make every single video or photo the best possible thing.
What do you think that most young creatives get wrong when getting into this industry?
That's a good question. Yeah, that one kind of stumped me. I feel like the motto nowadays really is for all of these younger kids being a one-man band and figuring out how to do it all yourself. But I promise you, you're going to make better content if you surround yourself with people you enjoy working with and bring new insights and new value to the project. Like, if I was doing things all by myself and I didn't have Fig, it wouldn't look as how I want it to look, honestly, because I don't have the technical aspect behind a camera that you do. Like, you are able to see things that I don't see and then set it, and then I can kind of push from there. But like, I wouldn't have had the first thought on how to set the camera up where we want it. Like, I give you a shot list and then like similar references, and then you just take it and put your own spin on it, and then we adjust from there. But I guess I've also just always played team sports, and I feel like that has been a crucial part of how I just move in my day to day. Like, I played soccer my whole life, and on a soccer field, everybody's a role player.
Show them the belt, man.
Show 'em the belt, yeah.
Colombia repping.
Viva Colombia.
Sad
R.I.P.,
day,
bro.
Sad day, but continue.
Yeah. But everybody's a role player. Like, on a basketball team, you have your guys, you have your stars, and then you have your role players. Obviously, you have that in soccer, but like, their role is to be the striker, to be the goal scorer. That's the role that they play. And so I don't know, I'm a very team-oriented person. I always have been. I've always like being the captain of the team and like figuring out who fits best where. And so I think just find your team, find your people that make you a better version of you and make the projects the best possible thing they can be.
Can you take me back to a specific moment at your time at 72 that you learned something specific, or you observed someone higher up than you do something a certain way or go about a project a certain way that you were like, man, that is like a key learning when I go to make Blue Stripe eventually, even though we didn't have the name yet? It's like, I'm going to remember this thing that they did because it was a game changer.
It's tricky because 72 and Sunny isn't a production company. It's an advertising agency, and I hired out the production company. So there wasn't necessarily like direct correlations between what they were doing and what we are doing.
Sure.
Like, we still can help develop creative, but that's not like our main thing. I will say is looking at a bid changed my entire perspective on how production works.
Okay, let's talk about that.
So my first...
What's a bid?
A bid is a estimate breakdown of how much you think things are going to cost. Like, this is my guesstimate. It's a very like reasonable guess because of prior experiences and looking at how much things cost. Obviously, I'm not always correct, and sometimes we spend more, sometimes we spend less. But it's essentially just a breakdown to showcase to a client, like, here's every line item of how much X, Y, and Z costs. And it totally changed my perspective on how much money is poured into commercial advertising. Like,
Now, was it from the perspective of, oh, they're allocating budget for things that I didn't even think about, or oh, they're actually charging more than I thought for each line item?
I think the latter, because I mean, it all felt like made up numbers to me at
Sure.
first. I was like, well, I don't know, charge $1,000 for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, we'll just see that, and that's how it starts. I think in the
Yeah.
beginning of a creative company, you're like, I remember when I graduated and we went and pitched a smart home company. We went in there and I go, dude, if we make 10 grand, I'll feel like a millionaire. And we locked them in for 10 grand. And I'm like, actually, this should have probably been like 40K.
Yeah.
And they laughed in their heads at 10, thinking these guys are a joke. They're so cheap.
Yeah.
This is insane. $10,000 for this much shit. This is insane. And then when we did it, I was like, oh, we suck.
Yeah.
And that's why this turned out like shit.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like you see the level, like even when we've done BTS on those $1 million spots,
Mhm.
you just see how this shit goes. It's so much different. It's similar things are happening. They're still the same lights. They're just bigger and more of them.
Mhm.
There's still grips. There's still gaffers. There's just 6 of them
Yeah.
instead of 1, or just having no one.
Mhm.
And you're just showing up with your camera and
Yeah.
you wonder why it doesn't look good. And it's
Mhm.
because there's a great team of people that are crafting it and making it look gorgeous. There's an art department. There's 6 of them
Yeah.
that are ready for
Yeah.
anything that could want to be changed.
Yeah.
You know?
And going back to your question though, I think I learned that every production is like running a micro business in that sense, where like
Mm.
we have every department that is their own team that has a greater goal. And so like Brayden's saying, we always have a grip, we always have a gaffer, but on these multi-million-dollar projects, they have 6 grips, they have 6 electric team, so they can move super duper fast like a well-oiled machine. If the client's like, what happened? They wanted on the Carmack shoot, they wanted these basketballs like dangling over the rear view mirror. Of course, our department had something to make that, and they were able to do that in 5 minutes just because the client requested it, and they had already built the business to provide the things on the spot that they wanted. So, yeah.
We have said on this show a couple of times the famous phrase that your network is your net worth. You take it even a step further and say, well, the quality of your network is actually the most important thing. Being that you were able to work at 72, you were able to foster incredible relationships, and your network is incredible, and it has led to you guys being able to do some awesome jobs for Blue Stripe. Can you talk to us about your network, how you've been able to foster those relationships, and like how important networking or your network actually is in this business?
Wow. I really appreciate how pointed Kostas's question was there. It was very elegantly spoken. Thank
Which is
you.
rare for me, dude. I stumble a lot.
I was like,
Fig knows.
whoa.
Dude, sometimes I'll be talking and like mid-sentence I just see Fig look at me and he's just like, fucking
Come
land
on.
the plane, Kostas. I'm
Spit
like,
it
I'm
out,
really
man.
trying, dude.
So I feel like being in Los Angeles, I've come to understand how the perception of this city is on the outside. Like people say it's very pretentious, everybody's very fake, all relationships are transactional, yada, yada, yada. And I think while there is truth to that sentiment, I believe that every relationship that I make could lead to something, but I'm never thinking about that.
Mhm.
Like I just want to meet great people and spread good, positive energy wherever I go. And if it leads to something, amazing. If it doesn't, it doesn't matter. It wasn't meant to be. And so I think when people meet new people, they are in the headspace of like, what can I get out of this relationship? Or what does this person bring to my life or offer to me? In which it's a reasonable mindset to have, but I don't think it's beneficial in the long run if that's what your actual purpose in networking is to meet people who can bring benefit to your life. Having that mindset will do the exact opposite. I just want to like make friends and be a good person to others and hope that they bring good to me. And again, like I said, if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So I'm never going into any relationship looking for something from someone. I just like meeting people. It's fun. Everybody is their own unique story and they have their own lived experience. and you can learn something from literally anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So you can learn something new about the world, about them, but you can also learn something about yourself. So that's how I approach every relationship.
So then let me ask you this, because you guys were able to get quite a few jobs from 72. If you didn't have that prior like network and relationship with them, how do you guys think, and this is a question for both of you, how do you think you would have gone about starting the company and getting business and new work?
Would have been a hell of a lot harder.
Yeah, would have been way harder, that's for sure.
I mean, I think it's like we've talked about on the show, we've talked about this. I think it's quality of the work one, like you can't sit and pretend like, oh, we should be getting these jobs. When you look at what they produce and you're like, our stuff isn't even half as good.
Yeah.
Like your stuff needs to be better or at least on par with whatever said company is doing. So then you have a chance at like throwing your hat in the ring. Like there's literally no point in reaching out. If you look at your stuff, I think like we talked to our boy Ed about this, but you can't be reaching out to these companies like thinking, oh, I should be getting these jobs, but like your stuff sucks.
Yeah.
It's just not there yet.
Mhm.
There's a reason why it's not, like you're still just on the pea shooter land, and it's
Yeah.
fine
It is.
because that's where we all were. But you got to be real with like, okay, do I need to rent a camera and invest in a home or invest in lighting so I can like make this look good, or just like thinking about the steps. I think comparison, everyone says comparison's so bad. Comparison is good because it shows you where you can go and like the gap between where you're currently at and where you're going. When they're like, oh, comparison's the thief of joy, that's when you're like, oh, my work isn't there, so I feel like sorry for myself. But
don't feel sorry
no,
for
you
yourself.
should compare, because then you can see like, okay, the big dogs are doing this. I'm right here. The gap here is like these people and this camera and this shooting. Like that's how you get good. I think comparing is good. People fuck that up. They're like, oh, comparison is so bad. No, that's how we got good, is we were always looking at these companies that were doing $100 million and be like, okay, if we want to do like half of that, how the fuck are we going to do it? We got to look at what they're doing, how their thing is orged, how many creative directors they have, whatever. So then we can kind of like start to just chip away at going up that route.
Yeah, I actually really appreciate that perspective, and I haven't thought about that like that, because I found myself constantly comparing myself to you, to Hayden, to Owen, to Henry, and those are like people that we made content with for Go Ducks in college, and I was like, I'm not of that caliber, but I also understood that I didn't necessarily want to be doing the things you guys were doing. Like, I don't want to be the photographer. I don't want to be the cinematographer. Like, I just wanted to direct, and I wanted to put together the teams to make my vision come to life. And so even then, comparing yourself, it's tricky because there are people my age that are doing way cooler, way bigger, crazier productions. We have people making feature films based on their YouTube series. We have like kids making music videos for Bad Bunny and like Drake and all these big names. And I'm like, I want to be there. But I'm comparing myself to those people in the sense that, damn, they got lucky and got those opportunities earlier. What do I need to do to set myself up for success to get those opportunities moving forward? Wait, can you say your question again?
What was the question? We went on a little run there, dude.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh, the network and how we would have went about it. I would reach out to every single producer, every single advertising agency in my area, and just get coffee with them and ask them questions about themselves. I don't even need to talk about myself. I think a lot of people go into these like networking opportunities and just want to spew about themselves. Everybody loves to talk about themselves.
Yeah, you were pitched all the time.
Yeah.
We were talking about this. Reef was pitched every single week by
I would get at least 3
companies.
emails a day of somebody wanting to get coffee with me.
So we would joke and we'd be like, what are the best ones? That's what we should do.
Exactly.
Like
At 72.
At 72 at Digitas, yeah. Like
I would get 1 to 3 emails every single day to hop on a call, get a coffee, get lunch, da 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 da.
And as a producer, you were down for it because sometimes
you want to work with sick folks, and one of them is going to be sick.
Well, sure. I just think that the classic, like, can I pick your brain and grab coffee for 30 minutes?
That's why you don't say it like that, you know? That the people that had the most outlandish emails to me, I said yes to. Or if they brought something unique or cool to the table, then I'm like, okay, I got some time. Yeah, I'll get lunch. Sure. So just actually being mindful about how you approach that initial interaction is going to be crucial in your acceptance rate of these meetings.
And that's also why I think Brayden's point to why the actual work is so important is such an important point. I think a lot of times people are so caught up and worried about, oh, I need to network. I need to build my network. If you just focus on your own stuff, like people only want to network or connect with people who like have cool shit going on.
Yeah, 100%.
And so worry about yourself first, and then you have stuff to talk about and you have value to actually provide to this person as opposed to just like asking for a handout or an opportunity and trying to pick somebody's brain for 30 minutes.
I agree. And I think somebody who like really taught me that was Henry Amon, because that dude would be in the lab, like locked in his room for hours and hours, and like would hang out every once in a while. But for the most part, he was just getting better at his craft, like
So
all
good.
the time.
That's an OG episode.
Yeah.
Episode like 13, I think, or something.
Yeah. No, shout out Henry. Like
No, you're
I
so
was
right.
inspired
You're
by Henry in
you're
college.
so right. Henry would never be out at the bars. The motherfucker was working.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I want to be like
working.
that, because Henry's getting jobs and Henry's getting paid to do what we're doing. And I want to get paid to do what we're doing. So
Yeah.
I need to find the time to lock myself in my room and get better at what I do.
Yeah, 100%. Can we go into the budget breakdown?
Yeah.
Do we have that?
Yeah, we can break down a
Because you
budget.
brought up the bid.
Yep. Let me
And
grab my
so-
laptop.
Okay.
We'll break down a budget of sorts. We can break one
We got
down.
the budget breakdown.
Budget breakdown. You know what's interesting though too, and I think this will be really helpful for people to hear, like this breakdown, is you might hear it and be like, I would do it a totally different way, and that's okay.
Yeah.
That's why this company, that's why the creative stuff exists. Like
Everybody can do it their own.
you can do it your own way.
Yeah.
You can have the rates be higher, you can have the rates be lower, you can profit more. And I think that the most important thing though when we go into any of these jobs is how, like he said, how can we make the best possible thing with the resources that we have at our disposal for this specific dollar amount.
Without giving away too much, tell us what you can about this job and like what it entailed.
Multi-day production, pretty solid sized crew, like not the biggest crew ever because we didn't have a ton of money to spend, but typically production companies are operating anywhere from like 10 to 20% profit. The way you can make more is if you own the stuff, right? So like your biggest roles at a production company, like if the founder is the director, if the founder is a DP, or if the founder is the executive producer, or like people on full time are doing those jobs,
Sure.
they can make more because either they're paid a salary, like 72, you have all these people on salary, right? So it's like, okay, well, we get these big jobs, or they have like a monthly retainer or whatever. And then you make off of your production fee, which you can raise as you go up. I think we started at 10% when we first quit our jobs.
Probably,
and now it's
yeah.
at 20%. But like I'd say a standard is like 15 to 20%. Like you can bring it down if you want to do the job really bad.
Yeah.
Because like when someone comes to you and let's say you make a bid and you're like, oh, this is $50,000, and they're like, well, we only have 40. It's like, well, I can't just knock everyone's rate because then they won't do it. They won't do the job. Like that's how much people's rate costs. And you're like, okay, how can we move money around here? Could we lower the fee a little bit? Like what could we bring our own rates down and then move money around like that?
What was the deliverables for this specific spot? Was it
Well,
one video?
At first, it was just 190-second. Here, let me adjust this. At first, it was just 190-second video. But they were like, oh, we only have this much to spend. And so my pitch back to them was, okay, well, we'll make you 4 15-second cut downs that you can run as ads from this 90-second video. And then they gave us more money. So like being able to utilize deliverables in a negotiation sense can be really helpful. And it's not going to be like that much more work for us.
So what was the original budget that they proposed that they had? And then what did you guys end up getting them up to?
20 to 30, and it ended up
35.
at 35.
I think. Yeah. They were like 25 to 35 is the range we want to spend.
And this is the important thing too. It's like you hear that number and you think, wow, that's so much money. That's not how much you profit in production land. Like in production land, I think to really be successful, you need to be you can do the smaller shoots. And by smaller, I mean like 30 to 100. You just got to do them more consistently and be shipping them out quicker because the sales cycle takes anywhere from, could take a week, could take 4 weeks,
Yeah.
could take even, 6. Yeah. So it's not like, you're just immediately you close it. Oh, now we have this capital coming in. It's like you're typically getting paid in thirds. So cash flow becomes a problem. And I think we did a good job of that at the beginning. We didn't pay ourselves shit.
Yeah.
And we stacked our account to get to 6 figures. Like that was our whole goal. We're like, let's get our bank account to 6 figures and not touch it. And then we can start to pay ourselves out a little bit more money. But like we were paying ourselves dog shit. And that's just how we did it though. And I don't know if that's smart or not, but I think that like now it doesn't, if you have a lump sum of income or that we're like waiting on, people aren't waiting to get paid. I don't have to be like, oh, I can't pay you this month. Like,
Yeah.
And I think that keeps the
And that-
relationships high.
Yes.
Because like nothing
100%.
is more annoying than hunting people down. Like we're dealing with the company right now who's 60 days late to pay us.
Yeah.
And like I will literally never work with them again.
Yeah.
Because it's just ridiculous. Like 60 days is
Insane.
insane.
And we're being good partners by not charging them
Interest.
Yes.
You know?
Which is fine in the future moving forward. And maybe that's something we need to continue to do and be more strict on. But we're just not going to work with these people again.
Yeah. But go ahead and talk to me.
Wait, so okay, so they came to you and they said 25 to 35.
Yeah,
and
but then
did
once-
you end up getting to higher than 35 with the 4 cut downs?
Yeah, because you got to think like whatever number the client comes to you with, then they're going to show you examples, and then you're going to say, yeah, there's just like no way.
Yeah.
Like
We
typically
can't get it
you
to this
can't-
caliber
you
for this amount.
exactly. And usually that's like it's your job to be able to articulate the why. Not like, oh, we want more money because we want to make more money. It's like, no, if you want this, look, this house is going to cost us $6,000 just for the house.
Yeah.
Like that's
Just for the location for the day.
for one day,
Yes.
you know? And then it's like, okay, do you guys want to like want art department? Obviously, yes, they do want art department. That makes the whole damn thing look good. It's like
Mhm.
everything in the scene. How does it look? If you don't have that role, it looks like shit.
And I still am learning how to bid out art, to be perfectly honest with you. It's a very articulate way to bid a job depending on what's needed. We just have a absolute unit of a man that can build, paint, draw,
Shout out to Nick
design,
Vodder, bro.
anything. Nick Vodder, love you so much. So he's our saving grace when it comes to art. I'm like, can you figure out how to do this?
Yeah,
for
we
this
have
much?
we have an architect that
Yeah.
is the king of art.
Because it's different than just this is this person's day rate. It's
Yeah, they gotta buy all
what's
the stuff.
cost
Yeah.
of the actual stuff
of the goods
the
to
art.
make the
They
thing.
gotta paint. They
Yeah.
they work way before the day
Yeah.
rate,
Yeah.
and then you have to factor that in. They're like, oh, why is this person's rate more? It's like, well, they're gonna work for days leading up.
Yeah.
You know, it's like all that stuff.
all the
just-
prep days. Like,
all that stuff just adds up.
Yeah.
You know.
And then wrap days too. Like we often buy things, and if we don't use them, then Nick has to go and return them. So that's like more.
There's another couple $100 you
Yeah.
need to throw someone. You know,
Exactly.
it just keeps adding up.
And so I'll go through this. I know this should have been more money in the end. When it comes to the amount of prep days, the amount of wrap days, and actually paying ourselves out, we needed a lot more money than we actually made because Brayden and I ended up spending pretty much
A month.
a month, but like 90% of the budget, where typically we would save 80% or we would save 20% for the production fee and then our rates, but we foregoed.
We put our
rates.
rates back into it to make it cooler.
Okay, so let's get into this breakdown.
So we'll get into this. So I ended up getting a $65,000 budget, 3-day shoot. We had
Wow, 65 from an initial 25 to 35.
And
That's awesome.
You know, that's typically what ends up happening. The number that they say is never the real number, and it's just all dependent on the creative though. That's not like, oh, we're trying to make like, yes, of course, I want to make more money. Like, I'm not going to bullshit you guys. But when you see what Reef draws up and you're like, I want that has a cost to it. It's not like, oh yeah, we just kept everything cheap. Like you can keep it all cheap. It's just like everything gets crappier. The camera gets smaller. The lenses aren't as nice. The team gets smaller. Then you move slower. So it's like if you have more,
that part for real.
if
Like,
you have a
we
more-
need to reiterate that.
Yeah.
You move
you
slower.
move slower,
And
way
people need to
slower.
understand that the more people you have, the faster the machine moves and the more things you can get done.
Yeah, exactly.
Where people are like, well, why do we need this extra support? It's like, because you're going to ask me to do something
Yeah.
on the day and we got to pivot last second to be able to do it. Otherwise, you're going to be upset because we can't do it in time.
And every minute you waste is like on a really big shoot, thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
On movies, they're tens of thousands of dollars. Every minute they're playing around. We've never done a movie, but like you just add up the jobs.
Yeah.
Thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars are being wasted.
Yeah.
You know,
So
hit me.
Okay, $65K budget, 3-day shoot. We had 15 crew members. So we had, I direct and produce, so we theoretically save money there where I'm the director and the producer. We had a first AD, we had our cinematographer, we had a first assistant camera who is our focus puller. We had a second assistant camera who is also he's slating, he helps us with
Lenses.
the DIT stuff in the end, swaps lenses, like love Reese, by the way, shout out Reese. Reese works on every single project of ours as our second AC. We had our gaffer, we had a key grip and a swing who was helping with the grip stuff and the electric stuff. Art/props, Nick, on literally every job ever. We had our hair and makeup artist, our wardrobe stylist. We had 2 PAs and a BTS/social shooter, Yuli. Every day was 10-hour days. The first day all took place in one location. And then the second days we split locations. So 2 on the second day, 2 on the third day. We saved a lot of money by utilizing friends' homes for those. Like one of our talent, we used his home for his scene. We also have our buddy Muzzer, who's one of our photographers at Blue Stripe. He allowed us to use his home for something. And so we got our second day for our locations for our second day for $1,000, which is just unheard of. You're not going to get that
unheard
cheap.
especially in LA.
Yeah. I'm going to go through the actuals breakdown versus the budget that I put
I think
together
that's
because this is how much money we actually spent in the end.
Mm-hmm.
So our gaffer was $2,256.20. That extra little bit comes from their mileage. So when your teams are having to transport themselves in between shoot days, then they get to add up their mileage and charge us back that. Our production designer, Nick, he made 2 racks, which heavily underpaid. Nick should have made at least $5,000 on this job. He painted a whole backdrop for us. He painted different things. Like Nick spent a lot of time on this, and I'm just grateful because he's my boy and does favors for us. So thank you, Nick. Our hair makeup artist was $1,900. So her original rate was $600 a day, but then she was a PA or a background extra in one of the things, so I paid her an extra $100. Our first AD was $1,715.61, and that's because she went and did crafty runs for us. So like I paid her back for her expenses. Our talent was each around $1,000 to $2,000 a pop. Our extras, I paid $100 each. Our swing, he was just doing us a solid, honestly. We paid him $1,250 in total, and it was like $500, $400, $350 or something like that, and he was just being the homie and helping us out. Our first AC ended up making $2,927, so $2,927.
Their kits get high.
Yes, that's where things increased to because we paid her for her kit. And she also did us a solid. She normally charges $600 a day for her kit. She let us pay her $300 a day or $350, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Our second was paid $1,650. Our KG $2,250. Our stylist $2,000. Our PAs were about $200, $300 a day. Yuli on the BTS was $1,525.
Getting paid, Yuli.
Getting paid, Yuli.
You got paid more than me, man.
Yeah. No, and then Brayden and I believe, oh, no, we're in the negatives right now. So in the end, our rates combined, the production company made $5,000, which again, we should have made a lot more than that, but that's okay. I'm happy with how the final product turned out. Equipment wise, we spent $3,209 at Old Fast Glass. Brayden, do you want to tell us what we rented from them?
Yeah, really nice Cook Pancro lenses.
Mm-hmm.
So nice. Lexa Mini LF. And then all just the shit that comes with a big camera like that, which sucks. It's just every single thing you're adding like anywhere from $5 to $100. It's like, oh, that cable, that's $25. And it just keeps adding up. And oh, you need a rotopolar for a circular polarizer and all these little things.
The map box.
The map box, the NDs
and-
for the map box, like all those things just really add up, which is why we're in the market for a truck. Like we want to own everything. And that's how you start making more money, even though you fork up a lot of money up front, which is why this stuff costs so much money. Is it's like all the lenses, all the gear, the insurance is so expensive. And it's something that we didn't even realize. I remember we got this job and we had to shoot at a venue that you all know and love in Los Angeles and have been there before. And the insurance they needed was like a $5 million umbrella, which is fucking high. And then you go to the insurance company like, oh, you need, over $1 million, $5 million. That's going to be 25,000 a year. You're like, whoa, holy shit. How is it getting up so high? So all of those things just run up the costs, and that's just operating a company, and it's just the price of rice. But when people are like, oh, why is it so expensive? It's like, you're also paying for it to be great and not fuck up. Like that's it. That's really what you're paying for.
And if it fucks up, the experience to be able to pivot and make and unfuck.
Exactly. Yeah. Like I think you get a few companies together, and like a lot of these jobs are triple bids, which means there's 3 companies all saying, hey, this is how much this is going to cost. I remember we've talked about this and we've talked to other producers about this, but if there was a job and there's 2 of them that are similar range and one's way low, they just fucking throw it out. Like, get this person out of here. Like, they don't want to go with a cheap option. So you should never be thinking like, oh, how can we cheapen this up? It's like, no, make it what it needs to be.
I will say the only way is if you have the work to back it up. If you are like, I am foregoing some of my
money,
rate or money, whatever, because I want the job and I have the portfolio to back it up that I can do it at the highest level, then they may go with you and you can be a little bit more competitive in your bid. But yes, for the most part, I agree with Brayden.
Did you put on their editor? Did we?
Yeah,
say
we
that?
haven't gotten there yet.
Oh, okay.
So then at Special Purpose, it was $3,040, which was all of our grip and electric that we rented. So the lights, the stands, the
flags,
bounces, stingers, bounce, like anything
car rigging
to shape light or place the camera in certain places. That's how much we spent there. And then to rent, we just rented our buddy Austin's van and $1,400 for 4 days because we rented it on the Friday before to go do camera prep, and then the actual shoot days we rented it as well. And he gave us a jump scare, Austin. We thought that the car got towed. Didn't get towed, thankfully, but we were in the airport like, yo,
car's gone.
The car's gone. Where did you guys park the car? We're
I'm like, bro.
What do you mean? We parked the car where we
Was he
picked up the
joking
car.
with you?
No, they
they
actually
moved
thought
it.
that, somebody else on their team moved the car.
We
But
didn't know, and they were like, it's gone. It's
Oh
towed.
my
We're like,
bro, that was
God.
like such a jump scare.
Like, dog, you
We're
gotta,
like, all right,
gotta be
we
kidding
just
me.
got the car towed. It's gonna be so much money because it's the big van. Okay, locations. The first day was $2,500 for the house, and so like 10 hours, $250. Actually, no, I got it for 11 hours, so 250.
240 something.
Yeah, little 200 range per hour. Then let's actually talk about the house because we fucked up on this house a little. Our car was way too big for the driveway.
We didn't measure the driveway.
And it was up in the Hollywood Hills. And we got there and essentially just had to park the car in a spot, or park the van in a spot that wasn't necessarily supposed to be parkable. And then we just unloaded everything and ran it upstairs.
Reef and I unloaded an entire like 1-ton grip van in like 16 minutes.
Yeah.
With water.
Wow.
Yeah.
Up a flight of like big stairs.
Yeah. Like hustled.
Because
to get that up
dude,
there.
you also need to like be so careful, and this is why also we want to own a truck so you just know everything about it.
Mm-hmm.
Those things are so heavy, and if you're on a hill, gets a little. There's just not a place you want to be on a hill with a big heavy truck like that. So all that stuff you need to be thinking about, and just like accessibility via a ramp, via just 2 little stairs or whatever the heck the thing may be, so that you can just plank up wood and not have to be like, oh, we're trucking up.
Yeah.
All this stuff needs to truck up because you want everything to be right there. So then it's like, oh, I need that. It's there.
Yep. Exactly.
You don't want to play this game of like, oh, let's hike into the woods 6 miles. People are like, dude, what do you mean we're hiking in the woods 6 miles?
Mm-mm.
You know?
You're very limited on what you can bring out there. And I'd say just being mindful of those carts are heavy.
So heavy.
Those carts are like 300 pounds.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe more. I don't know. Maybe less, but
I
they're
think
heavy.
I think they're more. Yeah, with all the shit on, they're
Yeah.
hundreds of pounds.
Yeah. And so finding a safe space to bring the lift gate down, roll off this cart, and then bring it to a safe space, safe space that you need on location. So 2,500 for day one of the house. Day two, we got second house for $1,000 and first house for free. So 500 each house, each location. And then the third day, we started at this house and then we moved to a more public space, and that was about $3,121 to rent those two locations. So in total on locations alone, we spent $6,620. And then miscellaneous craft services, because we had breakfast day 1 and 2, and then every single day we had lunch, and then we had dinner on day 3, and then all the crafty and snacks. We spent $1,478.37 on crafty and meals. On drives alone, we spent $1,600, which drives are more valuable than money nowadays. Like Muzzer literally texted me yesterday and was like, "Hey, do you have a T7 I can buy from you?" I'm like, "No, dude, that's more valuable than
gold.
money."
Those are gold right now.
Yeah.
I got dude. We have definitely a nice like Honda Civic in drives.
Yeah,
I've been
we do.
going back and just being like, I don't think I really need that stuff. Let me just
delete
let me
it.
just format this whole 5 terabyte drive.
You got to do what you got to do.
I know, dude.
On props, we spent $1,250, and then on wardrobe, we spent $2,000 because our wardrobe stylist, while she can buy some stuff in return, if people wear it, if she has to take the tags off, if people are wearing shoes, she can't return that. So unfortunately, we have to actually spend the money on a lot of these things. Now going into post-production. So for our editor that did the 90-second and then the 415s, we're paying $4,000. And this is, editors can charge as little or as much as they want. For this, we didn't do like day rates. It was more a project fee, a flat rate, where she was doing other things during the day, and then in the evening she was able to work on it. So that's how we were able to get away with this. And she is also a very, very highly talented editor at a big edit house. Like this is what she does for a living. So $4K for that. We paid our colors $2K. Our VFX and cleanup got one of the homies to do for $1,000. We wrote a script for this that
Didn't get used.
Yeah, not used on the client version, but we're gonna make a director's cut and it'll be utilized there. Spent $500 on that, and then we had a custom score which we spent $1,200.
Oh wow. Well, that's awesome. I think that people I think sometimes people just don't know what certain things cost and
Yeah.
everything that goes into production, because I think when you're first starting out, it's just like, okay, it's just me with my camera and it's gonna be $1,500 and I'll show up and I'll edit and that's kind of it.
Yeah, I'd say one thing all like maybe more mid-level videographers should do, or photographers, is look at your local rental house and see how much they're renting out every single item of equipment you have. And then keep that tally. So then any job you do, that's one of your line items is equipment, because if you didn't have that equipment, they're going to have to rent it from somewhere.
Yeah.
It also
So-
just depends too, like if you want to do the job and what the relationship is like with the company.
Also true. Yeah.
You know, like-
we take out equipment
Yeah,
on some
like-
of our jobs that we own because
Yeah.
we're like, we really want to do the job
If-
and we like working with you
Yeah,
guys.
exactly. So it just all depends. If I'm like, oh, these people call us all the time, like I'll be much more lenient with
The rates,
the rates,
the
and
line
all-
items.
yeah, and all the stuff. You just want to help out people that are like feeding you constantly
Mm-hmm.
and like helping you grow. So I think that's another big thing to remember is like you're in the people business.
Yes.
They're gonna hire you if they like you and if they have a good time. So regardless if shit's on fire, if everything's going wrong, it's make it smooth, make it as easy on them as you can. Because the moment that you meet like force with force, you'll never work with them ever again.
And I would like to talk a little bit more about that because I think there's a lot of people who get one-off jobs and then they never talk to those clients again. And I think I've even gotten pushback on people in our crews being like, well, why don't you just charge the clients more for that? And it's like, because they're my client and I have this relationship. I'm not going to deter them from wanting to work with us again over $500.
Yeah, over some like even we've talked about this before, but like if we get a revision that's gonna literally take 2 minutes, why would we charge them $1,000 or $500 or
for
whatever
an additional revision?
For an additional
Yeah.
revision, it's like just do the fucking revision and then keep growing with them.
Yes.
Because you also got to think like all these companies that hire you, regardless of their level, you do this shit so hopefully they can grow, and then you get more money as they grow.
Yeah.
And then at the end of even when we started, we've been in business 2 years. The companies that we started with are far bigger than when we first all met and whatnot.
So true.
You know what I'm
So
saying? Like
true.
they all had 10 employees. Now they have 25 employees, but like we still get hit up all the time by most of the companies that we work with, like very high rebound rate. So you think, okay, well now we're at this level. What's it going to look like in 2 years when we're all much bigger? We have more employees. They have bigger clients, and then you make more money as a team. It's like y'all can't work without the other.
Yeah.
Like, I think people forget that. It's like, oh no, we can just fuck them. It's like, no, like they're the ones that are helping you guys grow, and they stack your account, and then you can
Don't bite the hand that feeds you.
Exactly.
Like even 72 and Sunny were not doing as many social campaigns when I was working there. All of a sudden, they hire us for a Zillow campaign, do a 10-part series, does really well. Clients really love it. Now we're getting hit up for more social campaigns back to back to back. And they are continuing to grow. They're able to pitch this to more of their clients. And they're already a like multi-hundred million dollar company that has global ties all over the world.
Yeah.
But they're still growing in that sense. And we're growing with them, and they continue to bring us on because they had a really great time the first time we worked with them.
You guys also just recently worked on a project, and you don't have to share the details of like what the project was, but Fig was telling me how this company had worked with other production companies or other agencies and like hated every single one, but they loved working with you guys. What were some of the things that you guys made sure you did on that recent shoot that allowed the client to be like, we really like these guys and we want to continue to work with them, where every past experience has been a negative one for them?
I always just say yes, and like if it's never a no, I'm like, okay.
Unless it's like
actually outlandish. It's like, okay, yeah, I can figure something out. Like just problem solve. Like I think that the thing a lot of creative people do, and like I've done BTS when I was starting out and seen high level DPs, how almost like rude some of them can get. Because there's like, that's not how we do it. And I'm not like that because I came from sports where it was like,
Figure it out.
Yeah. Figure the fuck out. I would get hit up on Friday night and they'd be like, yo, tomorrow LeBron, and then we're doing a pickleball tournament at 8 a.m. I didn't get to say no.
Yeah.
I would just be like, sure, great. Like, do I want to wake up at fucking 7? Absolutely not. But we're going to figure it out and it'll probably end up being fun. But I always just take into account, and I don't come into it. I try to not come into it with an ego because it just makes everyone's life so much easier. If you show up on set and you're like Mr. Pretentious and you're like, I won't carry that fucking stand. Like if a table needs to be moved, I will move the table.
Yeah.
And I think everyone that's worked with us will attest to that of, I'm not just going to sit there if something needs to be done. Like I'll just pick up the combo stand and move the combo stand, or help move the light, or like you need me to move the sandbags. I'm not going to say no to moving the sandbags.
Yeah.
And I think that trickles like all the way down to the team, because then they're like, wow, this guy's not a bitch. I want to work. Like I want to work for this guy partially, you know? No, but it's the truth though. And I think that we try to make it fun because it is fun. This
Yeah,
is,
what we're doing is fun.
this is not a real job, bro.
Yeah.
This is fun. This is a fun job.
a good time. We
Like-
get paid to make videos for a
Yes,
living.
dude. It's not like we're in a surgery
Yeah.
room and it's like shit is on the line. It's like
We're not doing rocket science.
No.
And we've worked with rocket scientists.
This is
before.
fun. Like this is cool, and you get to do it with your buddies.
Yeah. Do you get annoyed when Brayden asks you to help him move the combo stand because he can't pick it up by himself?
I knew there was something stupid coming.
No,
I was like, "There's gonna be a dumb joke coming after this."
Yeah.
So over the weekend, I was hanging out with my buddy Evan, and he was telling me a story about how one of his friends was or he was getting interviewed to get hired by some like tech company. It was like Google or something.
Mhm.
And one of the interview questions was some math question of like, okay, there's a jet, a plane that is this size, and how many golf balls do you think can fit inside of this? And so normally they were getting answers being like, oh, well, if the plane is this big, I think it can. And he goes, yeah, my buddy just goes, you tell me how many golf balls you want inside this plane, and I'm gonna make it happen. And he got the job.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
That is so beast.
Epic.
Dude, what a great
That
answer.
is epic. How many fucking golf balls need to be in this
You
plane?
tell me how many golf balls you want in this plane, I'll make it
happen.
happen.
Dude, but that's just how it be, because your clients will come to you with some outlandish shit, and sometimes they're fantastic ideas, and sometimes they're like, well,
Not so
that's not
fantastic.
the best idea, but we can make it work. And I think you only know though from doing it. Like when we first came out of school and I was trying to do this other company that ended up not working out, I just didn't know anything.
Sure.
So you think that you know what the fuck's going on, but you don't know a thing. And then after we've done it for a few years, I saw someone make this like business is every 6 months realizing how stupid you were 6 months ago. And that's exactly how it feels.
Yeah.
Like 2 years, I'm like, I giggle thinking about the shit we were doing when we started. I'm like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of in my life.
So dumb.
But that's just how it works. And every single month you get a little bit better and you meet people that expedite the times like 1,000.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, one conversation puts you 8 months ahead of where you were
Yeah.
just at, just because they told you a couple of things.
Mhm.
And like every month, shit like that happens. And that's why it's fun,
Yeah.
is because every single time you're like, we could have made more money here if we did that, or maybe we should use this software, or we should use this person for sure. They're a total difference maker.
I also want to go back real quick and talk about why clients want to continue to work with us.
Oh, tell me.
Adding on to the yes end, I also think we are very, very good at being cool as a cucumber 100% of the time. Like, even if we're frustrated as hell with our clients,
Or with each other.
or with each other, or like the circumstances, it's really hot and it's 100 degrees and I'm sweating outside, or oh my goodness, our thing just broke. Like,
Yeah.
we don't let our clients know that.
Yeah.
Because they don't need
They
to
don't
know
need
that.
to know.
Like, they just need to be under the perception that everything is like easy breezy cover girl 24/7.
And that's how it should be. And I think back to when I was at the Lakers, they had like a massive majority of that business was corporate partnerships, meaning Verizon, Taco Bell, whatever the heck, Jack in the Box.
BB Low or whatever.
Yeah, BB Go, right? Their whole thing though, there's a group of people who kiss their ass and
Yes.
make their lives easy.
Yes.
It's like, oh, that content didn't do well. Let me figure out how we can make that right. And that's how, like, the Lakers president always said this at meetings. He'd be like, we are in the people business. Like, never forget that. We don't do, like, basketball is our product, but we are in the people business, the fans. We serve people. And I think I just took that into like everything that we're doing, no matter like if it's hot, if I'm
cold.
not having a good time.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, my job is to make them super fucking happy and be just a rock for the group that you're around. Because then they all feed off of that. Like if the director's rattled and then I get rattled and then the team gets rattled and then everybody's rattled.
Chaos.
And then it's just a shit show, you know?
Okay, I have an idea that I want to like workshop with you guys, and I'm curious to know what you guys are doing. / I think there's maybe some stuff you can take from other industries that might be interesting.
Okay.
When you guys wrap a shoot and it like went really well, what are things that you guys do like after you have delivered it to like stay in contact with the client to potentially get hired again?
So we send them work that we do that's cool. I stay up to date with them on social, send them a message if I see something they did that was really cool. I think in just
I think
like
we should be doing more.
We should be doing
like
more.
for sure.
Yeah, we definitely should be doing more.
So there's a guy that I follow on Instagram, and his Instagram handle is First Class Jerk, and he has a whole personal brand. He gets to go to the most luxurious hotels ever. He made a recent video about how hotels need to stop doing the free fruit plate because he's like, nobody gives a fuck. It's typically really bad. And it's not memorable.
It's like a 10%.
But he goes, there's certain things that I think luxury hotels do really well that I've experienced. So he went to the Aman in Tokyo, and they had a customized suitcase bag tag that they give to every guest. And I'm like, that's really cool.
That's
Okay.
brilliant.
He goes,
that's brilliant.
He goes, I think instead of a fruit plate, you should do like either like custom socks because it's easy to size, or like a custom shirt, or like postcards or something. I think it'd be really dope if you guys maybe even did some like physical stuff. Like, I don't know if it's
No, I
like
like that
merch.
a lot.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know
like
if it's
that a lot.
merch, or maybe even taking some of like the BTS photos or something and making it into like a magazine or something and sending it to the client.
Ooh, now you're
Dude,
talking.
could be cool.
That's a great
Or like
idea.
Polaroids and making them into like a book or something and
That'd
sending.
be really cool.
It got me
actually.
thinking about
That's
how
brilliant. Yeah, just dude, it's out-
collectibles or certain like physical stuff,
Goods,
because of
yeah.
everything that we're doing is digital. I think
Yeah.
having like a physical
tangible product that
thing
is a key reminder
could be
of
really
this
cool.
experience. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fun. It's a
I like
good.
that.
It's like it's good little advertising they see in their class. Like,
Yeah.
we should call those guys.
Like, oh,
they were.
I need,
feel like
I need
y'all
to light
need,
this
like, blue
candle, my
stripe
match,
hats. They were
my
nice.
blue
Yes.
stripe matchbook.
No, we do need a hat. I'm
Wouldn't that
tired-
be cool?
I'm tired of wearing other people's hats. I would love to wear a hat. That fucking pisses me off to wear these other hats. But like, I want to wear our own hat.
Yeah, no,
Like a
that's fair.
cool, swaggy
Mhm.
little hat.
We'll figure it out.
Okay, I have a question for you guys. They typically say you shouldn't work with your friends
Hmm.
because it's hard to mix business and pleasure, and it can be difficult. And I think a lot of people will sometimes start something with a friend and be like, oh, what can go wrong? Like, we're best friends. And then business starts to happen, and it's hard to separate friendship and business. And so how has it been with you guys working together? And what have you guys learned about how each other works, and how have you guys been able to, I guess, be very, very good friends and also run a company together?
I think it's super hard, but you spend so much time with the people you work with. So I wouldn't want it any other way.
Totally.
Like, I think that there is that misconception of like, oh, you shouldn't get into business with your friends. But like, I think that's bullshit. I think I prefer it because my best friends are who I want to hang out with. And then you two happen to have great complementary skills to like what I do. So I think that it's the first business I ever started, we did the same thing. That was dumb. And I realized it after we were already in business a year together. And I'm like, we do the same exact shit. This is so stupid.
Yes.
Like, I needed someone who does everything that I can't do really well, really at a high level. And I think that if there's road bumps, which happen as you grow, you just got to be upfront with each other, and the conversations suck, but it's just the reality of, it's not like friendship, it's money. And it's trying, you both have the same common goal of
Totally.
like growing. It's not like I'm not attacking your character, which is probably the hardest thing about difficult conversations, is you're not trying to say like, oh, I don't like you. It's just like, I don't like this thing that you're doing. Could you help me figure out how we don't do that thing anymore? And then we go forward, and it's just like, it's done there. And I think like whatever pent up anger you have towards the person is usually like far greater than whatever the conversation ends up being. And most of the time, everyone's very understanding, and it's like, fuck, like your goal is never to make that person feel the way that they're feeling. And once you know, you're like, oh shit, like, yeah, I didn't realize I wasn't putting that effort into this, and that would make our lives easier. Like, I can totally do that.
Yeah.
But I think running a business is really fucking hard. There's a reason why, 9 out of 10 of them don't make it to a year, and we're at 2 years. And it's super difficult. It is always changing. There's no playbook that you can follow, and no one out there has all the answers by any way, shape, or form. So I think all you can do is just like literally have the one thing that you want together, and then you just try to run as fast as you can towards it.
I also think Brayden, just and probably myself as well, just have the personality type for it. I don't think everybody's
That's
meant
so fair.
to go into
Yeah.
business with their friends.
Yeah, I think
it
you're right.
does ruin a lot of relationships, and I could foresee it ruining a lot of relationships. But just knowing our personality types and how neither of us really like take anything to heart when somebody's having a hard conversation, it makes it easy. Like
Yeah.
Brayden and I have had very hard conversations with each other, but we know we're not attacking each other's character. We are simply explaining the situation and actions that were made that were not beneficial for the greater goal, like you were saying.
Mhm.
Like I got really pissed off outwardly on one of our sets at one of our friends, and he was like, if a client was here, I would be so fucking pissed off with you right now. Like, you cannot act like that. And I was like, that's so valid. And I'm sorry that I acted out. He had been pissing me off all week, and I kind of just snapped right then. So it wasn't him attacking me as a person. It's him attacking what my actions that were incorrect. I should not have been doing that. Or there have been times where I've been like down, head down, and I felt like Brayden wasn't supporting me in all the things. And I'm like, you are being more reactive than proactive right now. And he took that to heart, and he started becoming more proactive in all the things that we need to do on a daily basis. So I think because we are not very sensitive people, like we are, but when it comes to having hard conversations, we take it at face value and we move forward. And so it works out for the both of us. And like he said, I wouldn't want to do this with anybody else. Like I get hit from friends now that I haven't seen them. They're like, dude, I only see you when we're working. Da, da, da. I'm like, I only see any of my friends when I'm working. Like I'm
Yeah.
always doing this, but I wouldn't want to be doing anything else.
I think that's I think the tricky thing about it is for a certain period of time, all the work that you do, none of it shows. It either monetarily
Yeah,
it doesn't show,
yeah.
and in numbers it doesn't show. So you're doing all these things and you're telling people you're doing these things, but there's literally nothing to show for it.
Sure.
And then for like, you finally get one win that's like, there is
Yeah.
like a trend in the right direction. And you really have to have this like delusional optimism.
Yes.
Because if you told anyone else, they'd be like, this is batshit crazy.
Yeah.
But like someone else that's been in the arena and is working on it knows like, no, you just have to like keep weathering the storm. And entrepreneurship is this one massive game of how long can you sit at the poker table and continue to play more chips until one of the chips in one of the hands like
You
goes
go
your way,
on.
goes your way.
Yeah.
And then you have great, fantastic. Like now we can keep building and keep scaling. But that I think is by far the most difficult thing of running a business is having this foresight to that, you know, stuff is going to happen for you, but stuff isn't happening right now for you. And that's why I think it's not cut out for everybody, because it gets so frustrating. You get so down and you can't.
Yeah.
You can only just be like, something's not working right now because of the lack or my decision making up to this point. So like we have to change something or it's not going to keep working. Like, you know.
It's also just way more fun to win with your buddy.
God, it's so fun.
Yeah.
When
Like
you close,
if I close a
Yeah,
deal by
so
myself, I'm
boring.
like, oh yeah.
Yes.
But then I get to be like, let's
go.
go big. Like we fire each other up. And then failing with your buddy is also like, it makes it more enjoyable because you're learning together and you're making sure that you don't make the same mistakes.
And
twice.
you're like, I'm not the only one having a shitty day.
it's only stupid if you don't learn from it. Like
Yes.
the whole game
I love
is
failing. I
the
love
whole
failing.
game is failing. The entire thing is like making mistakes and then never making the same mistake ever again.
What you just said though about it taking time is so key. It's kind of like an actor. Like,
Yeah, for
everybody
sure.
out here in LA is trying to be an actor. And you know there's actors who go back home for the holidays and then their family is asking them like, "Oh, how is it going?" And you know, what they want to say is, "Oh, it's going great. Like I booked this role and this role and this role." But like a huge win sometimes for an actor is even getting like the first callback.
Yeah.
Like you didn't book the role, but oh, they liked me enough to call me back, and that's a win. Or, you know, I feel like I really delivered this monologue really well in this audition or something. and they have to keep going. And you, like you said, you have to weather the storm. How long can I weather the storm of eating shit? And then eventually, like, you're continuing to get better. You have micro wins, and then eventually you're going to get a big break. And I think that with production, freelance, using a camera, making content, especially when you're first starting out, it's like
Same thing.
you see these people doing these big things. You know you want to get there, but it's unfair to compare yourself to where they're at, what kind of clients they're working with, and what kind of work they're producing, because they've already put in their 5 to 7 years, and you didn't know them or you didn't see them when they were eating shit in the beginning, and you so badly want to like move quicker than you are. But you can only control what you can control. Sometimes it's like not the right time with a certain client, or like their sales cycle is a little bit longer than you want because the email hit your inbox or you connected with them on Tuesday. You're ready to fucking sign the contract on Thursday, but they have a few more people that they need to talk to. And maybe it's not the right time, but like, let's keep this conversation going. Maybe something can happen a few months down the line. But that's just how it is. And you really aren't going to see the real fruits of your labor until you are in year 2, 3, 4 of the business.
Exactly.
You can only imagine what year 5 is like because the learnings are all exponential. Like what we were saying, that 6-month thing, like that is so real. And like, just think back to how much shit we didn't know when we were in Joshua Tree that we thought we knew. Yeah. We thought we knew it all. You think you're like, oh, I think I know how this rolls.
We figured it out.
I figured this out. Yeah, we got.
So what are a few of those misconceptions that you guys had that you now looking back are like, oh, we for sure we're going about that the wrong way?
Camera team 100%, because we were always like, yo, why do we need like a first and a second?
Why do you need all this team? It's the whole thing. Like the team is the team is the backbone of all the spots, all the commercials, all the movies. But when you come from one-man band land, you just don't understand because you've never seen it before. So like, how could you know and understand?
Like we've made something so great with just
us two. Yeah. So why can't?
But there's a time and place for that.
There's a time and place for that.
Like,
you know,
just depends on the project.
I think the other thing is just like keeping expenses as low as possible. And I think you see a lot of business owners who, at least I've followed, they don't pay themselves a lot for the first few years because you can't. Like you just can't do it. You have to like grow the company, and this is a labor intensive business to be in. It's not like it's digital where it's like everything is profit. Like you have to account for all these expenditures and insurance, and like we had no idea about any of that stuff.
I also think that we thought we could grow a multi-million-dollar business strictly on production, and now we understand that we need multiple streams of revenue. Like multiple streams of revenue. Like
doing production really well is a fascinating engine of like how these companies are operating, how many people they have in house, the types of jobs that they're doing. Because if you think about it, like if you're doing $1 million commercial twice a month, so that company is probably profiting, $400,000.
Yeah.
You times it by 12, like, okay, that's their net for the year. That's after paying out all these crazy day rates, these big dog directors and DPs that they're hiring. So there's just so many different models. And then there's like, there's an agency model where, okay, you have clients at $2 to $5K a month and you service them with social content. I personally think that's really boring and it doesn't excite me at all. So you really have to just kind of live and die with the avenue that you pick, but then also be understanding of that's just like a wing. That's not like our whole entire business model. Like, okay, consulting, huge business right there.
Do you guys want to talk about the kickoff that you guys are going to start doing?
Yeah, we can talk about it. Yeah, we basically are starting another offer to help brands with social content that basically can't afford to work with us where they're at right now. So they can't do a $50,000 commercial, but hopefully you can get them to a place where they're kicking hard enough and making enough money from social, from teaching them how to do it.
And developing their social strategy.
So they're not just, shooting things at the wall and praying something sticks. So we've partnered with a talented strategist, Lucas, and he's helping us kind of build out this offer, which is going to start this week, which I'm super excited about. But, taking a brand who has either tried social and thinks it doesn't work because it definitely works, or maybe ran paid ads and they did terrible, or just feels lost when it comes to creating content.
And like what they make, how they do it, generating ideas.
Yeah. So we want to eliminate all of that for these brands. So like come in, intake everything that they're doing, figure out formats that are going to work for them, script their videos, give them great hooks, allow them to just go out and make the videos, but hold their hand while we make them. So while they're cutting these videos, give them feedback on how it can be better, and then just grow with them and help them reach, trust, earn more dollars at the end of the month, and keep growing their brand. So it's no longer just a commodity.
Yeah.
It is an actual brand. And I think most brands, in quotes, are commodities. There's no reason why they buy you over your competitor. And I think the most successful brands win because of the word brand. They are a brand name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, why does Aesop have a $48 soap that people buy? Why don't they just buy it at Target? It's because they want to feel a part of the tribe of Aesop. And they want it to say
They
a
want
certain
this
thing.
luxury experience when
Exactly.
somebody walks into their home.
They go,
this is a symbol of status,
of wealth,
Yes.
or you're doing good, or whatever the heck that thing may be. So those are the companies that continue to succeed, the ones that build brand.
Yeah.
Not just rely off of like, oh, we have $1 million company, but all of it's Facebook ads. If we turn this off, no one would buy our shit.
Yeah.
Which is like the luxury market is so fascinating in that way, because it's people are spending 1,000x, 2,000x on a very similar product that someone could get for a few $100.
Yeah.
Or they sell it on Canal Street and you can buy the same purse, but it's not as cool unless you go to the store.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
It's fascinating.
people talking about the economy and the shitter, but it's like, Nobu. They're fully booked.
Nobu
Yeah.
ain't,
People are
Nobu,
spending money.
Yeah.
yeah, seriously. No, seriously.
A big reason you guys have been able to lock in some pretty awesome jobs is because of how dialed your pitch decks are. Like Brayden mentioned, you're typically going up against other companies. In an ideal world, they find you, they love you, they want to work with you, they tell you the budget, and then you're just off to the races. But oftentimes it's not that easy and you're going up against other competition. And so talk to us about how important pitch decks are, and is that something you really learned while you were at 72?
Reef's the goat of decks, by the way.
Yeah, no, your decks are insane.
I've gotten really good at them, but there are definitely people that are way more talented
When
than
you,
me.
dude, when you see some of these crack decks, you're like, I get why they charged what they did.
Yeah.
Like people's full jobs
are
designing
decks.
beautiful decks.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Insane.
And I'm super grateful that I learned how to design in college. Like I just
So
found
true, bro.
an interest in it, and then I started doing our fraternity's apparel, and then I learned how to use Photoshop and Illustrator. Like,
We would be cooked without Reef's knowledge of design making.
yeah,
Because
From the frat perspective, like you guys wouldn't have been able to get
yeah, we wouldn't have been able to grow.
good rush sheets.
That was
Yeah.
that was the difference.
oh,
maker.
from Blue Stripe.
Yeah.
You love doing those ones.
Yeah,
that
I
joke
do.
where you
But
like,
see, that's what you got to do though. If you're thinking about doing a company with anybody, think about all the skills that you have and write them down, and then write down the other person's skills and make sure, for the most part, that they don't overlap.
yeah, my list is a lot longer than Brayden.
Some bullshit on that.
Where does Brayden fit in the design category?
Brady
Like on
goes-
on the floor. I go,
Yeah,
Reef,
that looks great,
That looks
man.
great, Reef. These are my two phrases of design. That's not it. Or that's great, dude. That's actually great. I'm
so
like,
real.
that is not it.
There's something about this that's bothering
That
me.
is not it. That looks great. And that's called having taste, ladies and
Yeah,
gentlemen.
It's like
I'm a
Brayden's
creative,
like
I'm a creative director now.
telling the clients, when you're editing something, a good piece of feedback is not, this doesn't look good. What does he do when he sees
That doesn't look good.
that just
But
doesn't look
but
very
I
good.
tell them, and what designers, I
Yeah.
go, I don't know how to speak your language, so you can say I'm an idiot.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
go ahead.
No, it's really important. I think it's building a pitch deck is just as important as being a good salesman. I think it is the same skill in a different vehicle. You are pitching an idea and you are selling an idea, and taking somebody down a little path or a little journey, reading through this presentation that you've built and understanding the vision that sits up here and making it make sense in their head. Because a lot of times people who work in corporate allowed themselves to lose their creativity and their imagination over time. And it's an unfortunate thing that society has kind of like pushed on people, because I'm a true believer that everybody can be creative and everybody had an imagination at one point or another, but a lot of people
I like that.
have let that go. And So how do you provide that imagination and that visual painting picture in somebody's head when they don't exercise those muscles anymore? And it's really just like sifting through references. And I don't know what everybody else's strategy is when they build their decks, but for me, I just go through and find things that I like, and then it's basically just like the shit sheet of imagery where it's like, this is everything. And then I'm like, okay, what actually like looks good next to each other and what feels cohesive? Like, okay, I'm talking about lighting. So out of all the references I pulled, which ones have the same lighting? Because in my brain, it made sense when I was like going on this discovery phase. But then if I just take everything and I'm talking about everything at once, it doesn't make sense for somebody else. So and like cinematography, which of these are actually the shots that I want to emulate for what we're doing? Now strictly lighting, now strictly color. And then I write up what I'm thinking, and then I pull the images that actually fit for what I've written, because otherwise it's like, okay, well, you wrote this, but these images don't match, or these images are all over the place and they're not very cohesive.
Can you give me 2 or 3 tips for crafting and designing a winning pitch deck that like maybe a beginner wouldn't necessarily know?
I think simplicity is key. I think there's oftentimes people want to do way too many things in a frame. Just keep it simple. Take one photo, do a few little details on the edges. Like I always put blue stripe. I put the client's logo. I put directed by Shareef Chexai or whatever, and then a page number. And then I'll have the image and then a write-up about what's in my brain. And people want to make like these mood boards and these collages and you don't need all that. That's like very overstimulating for people. So take it little bite-sized pieces at a time and make it simple, sleek, and elegant. That's like the biggest tip I think I could give.
Simple, sleek, elegant.
Shebang, right there.
I saw this video of this dude. He goes, dads, anytime they get a new song stuck in their head, he's like, oh, shebang. He's like,
I've been saying it for everything, dude.
Yeah,
like,
I've been saying
like,
it a lot lately.
yeah, he's like, it's like, babe, where are those Diet Cokes in the fridge? He's like, oh, never mind, I found them. Diet Coke, shebang.
Oh, shit.
But yeah, and then also try and take the client's brand identity that they've already built and give it back to them, because you want to live in their world. So find all their logos. If you can't download a high res, remake their fucking logo. I do not care. I will sit in Illustrator and make a bunch of shapes until I make their logo.
Wow.
Find what their fonts are. Like if they have a color palette, make sure you stay in that color palette. Like they will love the little attention to details that you've put together to showcase their brand back to them in your own unique way.
It's like a pretty easy thing that you can do that they're normally pleasantly surprised
Yeah,
by.
100%. I think it's the easiest thing you can do that they're very pleased by.
Going back to your days at 72 for a sec, how long did you work there for?
I worked there for
Almost
almost 3 years. Yeah.
Okay. During your time at 72, what did you do during your tenure there to make yourself more valuable to the company and to, start working on bigger jobs and have your role grow in the company during your 3 years there?
Yes, and
Okay.
100%. I think I sacrificed a lot of my social life to get put on better jobs and work like more and work on cooler things. And not everybody's willing to do that, but I think life is a game of sacrifice. I think
I'm so with you.
You cannot continue to move forward without taking things away.
Totally.
It's all push, pull, give, take, yin, yang. It's all about balance. So I think the second summer that I worked at 72 and Sunny, I always worked one weekend day. The entire summer, I went without a weekend day, whether it was Saturday or Sunday, to work on whatever NFL job I was working on. And not everybody's willing to do that. But did that also allow me to then work on a Super Bowl campaign and win an Emmy at 22? Yes. So it's just a game of sacrifice and being a good person and a good vibe. It's really easy. Like just being kind to other people, checking in on people, asking where you can help. Oh, I'm grabbing a leisure out of the fridge. Would you like a leisure as well? Doing those little things go so far. Saying hi to people, like meeting somebody new. I'm walking in the office and somebody walks out of the bathroom as I'm walking in. I haven't met this person. I'm not going to ignore them and be like, oh my goodness, so sorry. Yo, what's your name, by the way? Just being a friendly face. And I walked through that office and a majority of the people in there knew who I was because I was just the happy-go-lucky dude who was working hard. Sometimes when I was in the office, I'm like, people here don't think I work, man, because I'm fucking off. Walking
Personality
around.
hire, just back at it
the
again.
personality.
I'm like, I promise you, when I'm at home, I am locked in for like 10 to 12 hours a day. This is like the only time I'm getting to talk to people because it was towards the end of the pandemic. And yeah, so just being a good person and I don't want to ever put my name on something that I'm not proud to share. Like I am going to make sure I do my part to make sure it's the best possible outcome, best possible product. Because I don't want people knowing that I touched that. If I don't think it's sick.
Yeah.
I don't always get to be the decision maker on whether it's sick or not.
Yeah.
But at least I did my part to ensure that I put my best foot forward.
So at a larger ad agency like 72, were there multiple people with your similar role that you guys are like kind of fighting to get put on to different projects?
Kinda, yeah. So there are executive producers who oversee like a few of the different accounts. So let's say one is on, should I like use brands?
I wouldn't.
Yeah. Okay. So the EPs will oversee like 4 different clients, and then they will be the person that's working with the like group director of account who oversees those other ones. And they're like, okay, we have these things coming in the pipeline. The creatives are developing this. We need some producers who aren't working on things or have the bandwidth to do it. And so they'll also work with like the resourcing team, figure out who's working on what, and then put different people of different seniority on the project, depending on how big the projects were. So there's the EP, then senior producer, then mid-level producer, then junior producer, then production coordinators. And I feel like I moved up pretty quickly in comparison to most people, just because I was like always on something, always down to do the next thing and keep working and keep going. But I didn't ever feel like it was a competition because there was so much work to go around. Did I get all the coolest ones? Yes, but also other people might not think that they were cool for them either. Like I liked working on the NFL. I like sports. If you don't like sports, you don't care.
Yeah, no one cares.
Yeah. So it's like it can be competitive if all the people have the same interest, but it's not necessarily an actual competition between other people at your level.
Mm-hmm.
But I also started owning my own work when I was a junior producer. And when I left, they put senior producers on my jobs. I was like,
I'm laughing so hard because Brayden's got 4 open cans next to his seat. He looks like one of those kids who just like doesn't clean his room, just like playing video games. You know, you walk in, he's like,
he is.
You got the half the plate of pizza rolls.
Dude, my room is clean right now.
Your room is clean right now.
It was.
I was remodeling. I had a fish tank
That's
to bring
fair.
him.
Yeah,
Dude, the new tank.
Sick,
New
right?
tank
Everyone's
looks
talking about
fires.
it.
Sick.
Everyone's
So
talking
should we
about
just
it.
go into a little PPD because
Yeah, we can go
got
to a
our
little
good
PPD.
friend Reef.
Yeah, that's good.
What's PPD?
Me and
Post-pod debrief.
the after party.
He made it to the after party.
Dude.
Can you believe that?
Well, Reef's been going to other after parties, and now he came to ours. Stopped by ours.
You made it in, man. Welcome. This is a great place to be. It's hard to get through that door. So
Now, yeah. Now we can talk about Colombia and that game. We've been crushing World Cup.
Yeah.
Not so
Koshi
much
and I
this
just
guy.
went and watched
Not
the
so much
U.S.
me.
play.
Yeah,
and get
dude, that was
absolutely
brutal.
dicked on.
Dude.
That was brutal.
World Cup's been sick though.
World Cup has been amazing. It's like literally my favorite thing every 4 years. And I'm not a big, like, emotionally attached sports guy,
Yeah.
except to my University of Oregon Ducks and the Columbia national team. And our team lost yesterday in penalty kicks, and I was really sad. And then I was able to sit back and reflect, and I'm like, oh, I understand men that like have that emotional attachment to their teams a
Sure.
lot more now.
You get it because you felt that.
I felt it, dude. Like I have no control over whether this game wins or loses. And I was just sad.
Columbia had it though. I texted you. I was like, dude, I can't believe he missed that.
Dude.
So did you guys lose in PKs or what?
Yeah, we lost
They
in
did.
PKs, but in like,
no.
I think it was extra time or like, yeah, I think it was in extra time. Buddy just has one-on-one with the keeper, absolute sitter.
Yeah.
Could just totally put your head down, put your body over the ball, just rip it to the far corner, just sends it.
No.
Skies
Yeah.
it to the stadium.
Oh.
Yeah.
Man.
You hate to see that.
You hate
man.
to see it.
You hate to see that.
But that's the beauty of the World Cup, man. It's just everything goes.
Who do you think's gonna win?
Dude, probably France, but I don't really want them to win.
Dude, the French are good, huh?
The French are disgusting.
So can Mr. Erling, can he stop the French?
That's the question.
That's the goal.
You think it's gonna be them too?
Norway, England, and then Morocco, France, up in that side of the bracket. If Andrew Tennant's watching this, I fucking hate England. I really want England to lose. They got us out of the World Cup, the last World Cup we were in, and he always sends me that YouTube video of those penalty kicks. Because again, we lost in penalty kicks.
Damn.
The last
so
World
they've
Cup
kind
we
of
were in.
cursed you guys.
Wait, but is
Yeah.
it possible that Norway and France plays in the finals, or
It
would
would
they
be
be
the
in the
semifinals.
semis?
Yeah. Which would be pretty elite. I can't lie. It would
Yeah.
be awesome to see England lose to Norway. Fuck you, Tennant. And then it would be really, I mean, I would love if Morocco beat France. I don't think it's going to happen.
Sure.
But that would be sick.
Man.
Brown boys, gang,
Yeah,
type
you
shit.
What else
Dude,
is up?
I gotta tell you guys a crazy story. Yesterday we're in a meeting, right? I'm sitting there. I just shaved my beard.
Oh, are you sure you want to?
We're gonna cut this out, but I have to tell you about this
Okay.
because this is
Well, I'm not cutting it out.
this is insane.
Okay.
It can stay in. This is crazy. I just shaved my beard. I'm sitting there in the meeting and I go like this and I go, I felt something right there. And I go, do I have a mole? And I
Brayden goes.
no,
on
I
this
flicked,
call.
bro, I flicked it. I flick it and I go, when did I get a mole? Like, did I just grow a mole on my chin? I'm like, I
You said
never.
this out loud?
No.
Oh.
I muted myself during the call and
Oh.
and I turn my camera off
Mm.
and then I go to the mirror and I look and I go, oh my God, I have a little mole. No. I touched it. Had legs.
It moved.
It was a tick, bro. That was latched onto me, dog.
What?
Bro, I was
Brayden had
so
a tick
rattled.
in his
I had a
beard.
tick on my chin, dude. It fucking kind of hurts now that I just touched it right there.
Damn.
Yeah, bro.
Hmm.
So I popped the little guy out. He was flat though. I look it up because I'm like, where would I gotten a tick? We're in LA. Like ticks
Yeah,
don't.
it was the East Coast.
Bro, we were just in the woods for this Carhartt shoot.
Oh.
I was literally staying in the woods and I went on a walkabout through the woods. I went to Jack's cabin and I took the scenic route through. I didn't go on the trail. I went through the woods. So the little fucker must have just popped onto me. Yeah, or something.
How do you think that happens? Do you think it gets on you like
Bro, but
legs works its way up, or do you
no,
think it just?
I literally have no idea how I wouldn't have felt it.
Yeah.
But you know what's crazy too is that I'm asking chat and I'm like, am I gonna get Lyme disease or something? Like, what's the vibe with this?
Oh.
Because they're deer ticks, and it was a deer tick.
Oh.
Of course, dude, it's so funny. I go, I live in Los Angeles. Like, he goes, oh no, in Los Angeles you have nothing to worry about. I go, I think I got in Albany, New York. You have a lot to worry about. Lyme disease is prevalent there.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, of course. But the little guy wasn't big. He had just gotten onto me. So I don't know if he was just living life.
Wait, so are you still worried about this Lyme disease thing?
I'm just riding it, man. I feel pretty good. I'm a tough guy. But yeah,
Dude, you know Biebs had Lyme disease?
I'm aware and I'm
Yeah.
terrified of that.
Yeah.
Just said monitor symptoms.
Yeah, no, I know. When you said that, I was like, bro, you might want to go to the doctor.
Yeah, it was pretty traumatizing. I was like, what the hell? It was like, dude, I saw a video of someone getting like an earwig in their ear.
Oh.
Yo, you know what I'm talking about? Have you not seen this shit?
An earwig?
Yeah, you know what an earwig is? It's
Those
that
little like
long,
slimy,
long things.
Oh.
I guess
Some-
they're not slimy,
They're
but
not
they're
slimy.
long. They got hella
Yeah, yeah,
legs.
They got like two, kind of like a mini centipede in a way.
Yes,
Oh.
yes.
Kind of thing. But yeah, bro, I was like, oh my God, this is such my luck.
Yeah. Everybody, please tell Brayden to shave his beard down further.
I'm going to this is great.
Yeah, I think you could even go a little less.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I feel like
You
it
think-
allows your jawline to be more prevalent when you go less.
Wow. Okay. I'm just getting unsolicited advice.
Well,
I
I'm
like it
going
when
to
it's
give
blank.
it.
We'll
Yeah,
let the
yeah.
rocks comment, dude. The rocks can let me know what the beard, but I need to keep it this length in case I go to New York ever again.
Or less.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That was terrifying.
Yeah,
It's like
that's-
actually insane. We had like a 4-day shoot in North Carolina, New York. Shout out to the squad that helped us out over there. It was super dope with Carhartt. Can't talk about like what we filmed, but it's gonna come out here in like a month. And
Is
we
it
got,
actually?
I think a month. Yeah.
No way.
Sick.
Swear.
Both?
I believe so. We got to do it with our buddy Jack Cook. He directed it. So it was fun. It was a great time.
Jack.
That's
We
awesome.
were braving the elements, hotter than heck, but we got it done. And then literally where we stayed was just in the middle of the woods, bro. I'm sitting out there and they gave you a little campfire to start. So I started a little campfire. I'm sitting
No
there.
fire.
Here's some in the woods. It's dark. I don't like that. I don't have a pocket knife on me. I'm like,
Do you carry a pocket knife typically? Do you?
I used to all the time.
I used to carry like my Swiss Army
Yeah,
like
yeah.
multi-purpose tool,
Just in
but
case, man.
Then TSA took it. So
Oh,
Do
that's
you
good.
carry
Gone
one,
when-
Yuli? Dude, my girl's like on me about that I don't carry a knife, and it never like dawned on me.
I used to carry a knife all the time because my grandpa carried one and my dad always has carried a knife. So I used to always have one, but like I haven't in a while. But I was out in the woods and I'm like, you get a little scared by yourself, dude. Jack wasn't sleeping right next to me. He's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
up on the mountainside. So I'm like, here's something in the woods. I'm like, holy shit. And it's just pitch black. There's no lights. There's literally nothing. It's just my little fire. And then out of nowhere, 3 deer just pop up in the
No
woods.
way.
And I was
Oh,
like, yo, y'all scared me.
We're
You-
good.
you guys
but-
can stay around.
you
Don't-
scared me.
Don't do that again.
That's funny.
It's nuts. We had to get up at like 4 a.m. and I heard shit outside. I go, hopefully it's deer, not a bear. And there was like 9 deer like right outside of our cabin,
Dang.
just hanging. They're
You
just,
should have had some carrots, man.
yeah, just posted up. I don't know if deer like carrots, man.
I feel like
I think they do.
Yeah.
Or is that reindeer?
I think that
or is that reindeer?
might be a caribou, man.
Mm.
But it's all good. This has been an absolutely insane episode of the 505 podcast. If you're still here, please hit the subscribe button, drop us a comment, leave us a like, follow Blue Stripe, and we'll see you guys all next week. Peace.